Center files an affidavit on religious conversion. Religious conversion is outside the right to religious freedom. Center to make a law soon on religious conversion. Petition filed in the Supreme Court regarding same-sex marriage. Petitioner demanded to amend the Special Marriage Act. Act was passed in 1954. Banks write off loans worth more than 10 lakh crore rupees. Data revealed through RTI. Only 13% NPA recovered by banks. Cyber experts warn about blue bugging. iPhone also vulnerable to blue bugging. Blue bugging leads to hacking of mobiles or laptops. And measles outbreak in Mumbai and nearby areas. Some areas identified as high-risk zone. Measles vaccine was introduced in 1963. Recently, the central government has filed its affidavit in the Supreme Court regarding the conversion petition. On this, the central government has said that religious freedom does not include the right to convert other people to any particular religion. Also, it does not allow any person to convert religion through fraud, coercion, or inducement. Further, it may become a serious issue of exploitation of economically and socially weaker sections of the society, women, and the underprivileged, which is against the concept of a secular nation. Significantly, the Indian government is aware of the seriousness of this matter, and a law is expected to be made soon in this context, although there are many states that have made laws related to this in their state. After this, considering the seriousness of the matter, the Supreme Court has also asked to file a detailed affidavit on it. Actually, a petition was filed in the Supreme Court. In this petition, the petitioner had expressed concerns over the issue of forced conversions taking place under duress, greed, and pressure. Along with this, the top court was also requested to give instructions to the central and the state government to ban this. Let us tell you that the provision related to this has been given in Article 25 of the Indian Constitution. According to this, all persons have an equal right to freely believe, practice, and propagate any religion on the basis of conscience. However, on the basis of public order, morality, and health, the state has been given the right to regulate it. According to experts, a lot of thought was given to the word propagate in the Constituent Assembly. After this, it was pointed out that the word propagation only includes the right to tell the good or bad of a religion and not to force a person to follow a particular religion. Similarly, the Supreme Court in the case of Reverend Stanislaus versus the state of Madhya Pradesh had said that the word propagate does not include proselytizing. It is a positive right. In this, the element of religion are propagated by explaining them. In this context, the apex court had also accepted the law made by Odisha and Madhya Pradesh as correct. Recently, the Kerala High Court ruled that making physical relations with a married woman on the promise of marriage will not come under the ambit of rape. The court said this while quashing a rape case against a 25-year-old man. According to the court, having sex with a married woman by promising to marry her does not amount to rape under Section 376 of the IPC. Actually, a married woman had filed a case against her unmarried lover. In this, she had alleged that her lover sexually assaulted her several times by making false promises of marriage. Thus, he has committed the offense of rape as per Section 376. Along with this, the woman had also demanded action against that person under Sections 417 and 493. While hearing the matter, the court said that the victim voluntarily had a relationship with her lover. She knew very well that she could not legally marry the lover as she was already married. Basically, it is a case of consensual relationship. Hence, it cannot be a ground for rape under Section 376 of the IPC, nor does it make out a case under Sections 417 and 493. Let us tell you that Section 376 of the IPC defines the case of rape. According to this, if a man forcibly makes physical relations with a woman, then it comes under the category of rape. It also states that if a person treacherously has physical relations with a married woman with her consent, despite knowing that he is not her husband, it would amount to rape. Whereas in section 417, there is a provision for cheating. This section makes the offence of cheating a bailable and non-cognizable offence, while those cases come under section 493, in which there is talk of making an illegal relationship on the pretext of marriage. It states that if any person causes a woman to believe that he will lawfully marry that woman and in this false belief cohabits with her, such person shall be deemed to be guilty under this section. Recently, a petition was filed to recognize same-sex marriages under Special Marriage Act. The petition states that Section 4 of the Act permits any two persons to marry, but as per its subsection, only men and women can apply for marriage. Therefore, the petitioner has demanded that the gender-based restriction in the Special Marriage Act be removed and it should be made gender-neutral by recognizing same-sex marriage. Accepting these petitions, the Supreme Court has issued a notice to the central government and the Attorney General. On this, the court has sought a response within 4 weeks. Significantly, there are 9 petitions pending before the Delhi and Kerala High Courts to recognize same-sex marriages under the Special Marriage Act, the Foreign Marriage Act, and the Hindu Marriage Act. Let us tell you, in the year 1954, the Special Marriage Act was brought to register and recognize inter-religious and inter-caste marriages. This act allows two persons, that is woman and man, to be legally married. Under this, there is no need of completing any religious formalities. The act covers Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain, and Buddhist marriages. This also applies to Indian citizens living abroad of different castes and religions. For your information, let us tell you that according to Special Marriage Act, an application has to be submitted to the concerned officer for inter-religious and inter-caste marriages. In this, the people getting married have to give their detailed information, including name, religion, age, etc. After this, according to Section 14 of the Act, a notice regarding the marriage is to put up outside the marriage officer's office for 30 days. Its purpose is to ascertain if any person has any objection to this marriage. If anyone has any objection, then they should get the objection registered. Recently, the border dispute of Assam and Meghalaya once again came into the limelight. Due to the border dispute, there were reports of violence on the border of both states. 6 people from both the states, including a forest guard, have been confirmed dead in the violence. The violence took place in Langpi, situated in the West Garo Hill region. In fact, Assam and Meghalaya share a borderline of about 884.9 kilometers. There is a long-standing dispute between the two over the 12 areas. Both states claim the areas. This is the reason why there are frequent reports of clashes in these areas. Along with this, the police of both states also come face to face. During British rule, undivided Assam included present-day Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. Meghalaya was carved out of Assam in the year 1972 and it became a state. Its boundaries were demarcated according to the Assam Reorganization Meghalaya Act of 1969, but from the very beginning there was a dispute regarding the boundary of the state. A major point of contention between Assam and Meghalaya is the district of Langpi in the West Garo Hills. This district is bordered by the Kamrup district of Assam. Langpi was part of the Kamrup district during the British period, but after independence, it became a part of Garo Hills and then Meghalaya. However, Assam considers it a part of the Mikir Hills of its state. On the other hand, according to Meghalaya, this area was earlier in the United Khasi and Jaintia Hills district, hence it is a part of Meghalaya. For your information, let us tell you that several attempts have been made in the past to resolve the border dispute between these two states. In the year 1985, between the then Chief Minister of Assam, Hiteshwar Saikia, and the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Captain W.A. Sangma, an official committee was formed under the leadership of the former Chief Justice of India, Y.V. Chandrachud. However, there was no concrete solution to the border dispute. Similarly, from July 2021, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Kongkal Sangma and his Assam counterpart Himanta Biswa Sarma, held several rounds of talks to make progress on this matter. After this, in the March of this year, both states signed an agreement. However, the agreement was reached only for 6 of the 12 disputed sites. Indian banks have written off loans worth more than rupees 10 lakh crore. This has been revealed through an RTI, that is Right to Information, from RBI statistics. According to statistics, banks have written off this amount in the last 5 years successively. In the reply given by RBI and RTI, it has been told that the bank could recover only 13% of its NPA, that is non-performing assets, worth 10,09,510 crores. After this, the remaining NPAs were written off by the banks. In this, information has been received about public sector banks writing off about 7,34,738 crore rupees, while private banks have a share of about 27.28% in the total write-off amount. Let us tell you that write-off, that is discount account, is technically that account in which the amount that cannot be recovered is written off. This means that now the amount will not be counted as an asset. In this way, it is the NPA of the bank whose recovery is no longer possible. Banks try to improve or clean up their balance sheet by writing off NPA or bad loans. In this way, through this, banks remove the amount of bad loans from their balance sheet. Significantly, writing off a loan does not mean a loan waiver. Rather, such a loan is considered to be almost insolvent. In fact, in loan waivers, bank completely cancel the loan recovery. It cannot be recovered later in any way, while there is a possibility of recovering the loan in write-off. For your information, let us also tell you that NPA is the loan or loan given by the banks whose principal is outstanding and no interest has been paid on it for any period. According to RBI, a loan becomes an NPA when the principal or interest is overdue for 90 days or more. NPA is divided into 3 categories: substandard assets, doubtful assets, and loss assets. Recently, RBI has published Finance Report on Municipalities. This report is based on the compilation and analysis of budgetary data of 201 municipal corporations of the country. This report has been prepared by the State Finance Department of the Department of Economic and Policy Research. According to the report, there has been a decrease in the expenditure in India from the year 2012 to the year 2018, while the share of revenue expenditure in total expenditure remained constant. However, revenue expenditure has come down from 70% of total expenditure in 2017-18 to 58% in 2019-20. Basically, revenue expenditure means that expenditure incurred in a financial year which neither creates assets nor reduces liabilities. Under this, interest payment, subsidy and grant, etc. are included. If the report is to be believed, the expenditure on the establishment expenditure, administrative cost and interest, etc. has increased, whereas the capital expenditure is very less. Let us tell you that municipalities meet their finance gaps by taking loans from banks, financial institutions, and the central or state government. However, despite the better prospects of municipal bonds, there are shortcomings at the infrastructure level. Citing the Municipal Performance Index, the report has said that in the year 2020, Indore has been at the first position. It is followed by Surat and Bhopal. On the other hand, the New Delhi Municipal Council topped the category with a population of less than 1 million. It is followed by Tirupati and Gandhinagar. Despite the structure of local government in India, there are many loopholes in the functioning of municipality. Also, there has not been any appreciable improvement in the level of their work. Apart from this, the availability and quality of essential services for the urban population also remains poor. The report suggested proper monitoring and documentation of various receipts and expenditure items by the municipality. Along with this, various bonds, land-based financing mechanisms, etc. have also been talked about to increase financial resources. Recently, Russia has offered new technology for the fuel cycle of Indian nuclear power plant. Its purpose is to increase the efficiency of the reactors in the Kundankulam power plant. In fact, a conference was organized in Hyderabad recently. At this conference, TVEL, the fuel company of Russia-based Rosatom Corporation, promised to provide ATF, that is, Advanced Technology Fuel. Let us tell you that TVEL fuel company currently supplies TVS-2M fuel for the operation of the Kundankulam nuclear power plant project. At the beginning of this year, TVL company started supplying TVS-2M fuel in place of UTVS fuel. Notably, the TVS-2M fuel has a life cycle of 18 months. This means that the reactor has to be shut down after every 1.5 years to load fresh fuel. In comparison, a plant using ATF fuel will get 24 months. That is, to put fresh fuel in it, it will have to be shut down after 24 months. Let us tell you that TVS-2M is a fuel assembly. Under this, uranium is used as a fuel by filling it in a thin tube. The amount of uranium used in ATF will be 5% more than the fuel used in TVS-2M. As a result, additional power generation and savings of forex are expected due to the longer operation of the reactor. Significantly, the Kundankulam nuclear power plant is the largest nuclear power plant in India, located at Kundankulam in the Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. Presently, the power generation work is being done in units 1 and 2 of this plant, while 3, 4, 5, 6 units of this plant are under construction. The total power generation capacity of this plant is 6,000 megawatt. The Kundankulam nuclear power plant has been set up by Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited in collaboration with Russia. Recently, scientists have revealed the Fujiwara effect among the increasing frequency of tropical cyclones. Along with this, the effects on the general public have also been discussed. Scientists say that as the temperature of the earth is increasing due to global warming, the temperature of seawater is also increasing. Due to this, incidents like storms and cyclones are increasing. In such a situation, when two cyclones start colliding with each other, then this Fujiwara effect is seen. According to scientists, there has been an increase in the Fujiwara effect of late. Basically, the Fujiwara effect is the phenomenon of two cyclones merging into one large cyclone. When two storms moving in the same direction pass each other, they begin to rapidly rotate around their common center. In such a situation, the more powerful and bigger storm starts orbiting the smaller one, and thus, finally a big storm or cyclone is formed. Scientists have named this phenomenon as Fujiwara effect. The Fujiwara effect was identified by Sakuhi Fujiwara, a Japanese meteorologist. In the past, one such incident was seen in the Western Pacific Ocean. Actually, Hina Manor, a tropical cyclone, was moving towards Taiwan from the West Pacific Ocean. At the same time, another tropical cyclone named Gardo was moving from the southeast towards Hina Manor. As soon as these cyclones reached close to each other, they merged. Thus, the Fujiwara effect was seen. Later, this big or strong cyclone caused landfall in South Korea. Due to this, 7 people died due to drowning. Actually, when the effect of a cyclone is seen on land after sea, then this situation is called landfall. Significantly, cyclones are generally centers of low air pressure. There is low air pressure in the center while there is high air pressure towards the periphery or outside. Due to this pressure difference, the wind starts moving from the periphery towards the center in a circular motion. As a result, a cyclone is formed. Due to the rotation of the earth, the direction is anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, they are in the clockwise direction. Let us tell you that tropical cyclones are formed only on the surface of the water. Recently, cybersecurity experts have made a disclosure about bluebugging. According to experts, hackers are breaking into smartphones and laptops using bluebugging. Even the iPhone, which is considered to be the most secure smartphone, is vulnerable to such attacks. Along with this, there are many such apps which are recording the conversations of the users. They are doing all this without the permission of the users. Cybersecurity experts have warned that if users do not use Bluetooth carefully, then it can increase the risk of bluebugging. This can harm the privacy and security of the users. According to them, the apps which ask for Bluetooth permission at the time of installation can record the conversation of the users. In this case, some app developers say that any app with access to Bluetooth can record audio from users' conversation with Siri and the iOS keyboard dictation feature. Let us tell you that bluebugging is a method of mobile or laptop hacking. In this, hackers access the device through discoverable Bluetooth connection, then break into the device. Once a device or phone gets blue-bugged, the hacker can listen and record the calls of that device or phone. With this, they can read and send messages the hacker can steal and modify the device user's contacts. Blue bugging attack requires the device or mobile to be in Bluetooth discoverable mode, although this is the default setting in most mobiles. Blue bugging can happen when a Bluetooth-enabled device is within 10 meters of the hacker. However, according to VPN, that is Virtual Private Network Service Provider, NordVPN, hackers can use booster antenna to increase the scope of this limit. It is worth mentioning that blue bugging first started as hacking into laptops with Bluetooth capacity. But later, hackers started using this technique to target mobile phones and also other devices as well. Through this, now many apps are also accessing the privacy of the users. To avoid blue bugging, experts recommend turning off Bluetooth when it is not needed. Along with this, measures like disconnecting paired Bluetooth devices when not in use can be taken. Apart from this, there are some ways like updating the system software of the device to the latest version, limiting the use of public Wi-Fi, etc. can protect it to some extent. Recently, the 19th meeting of CITES, that is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, was organized in the Central American country Panama. This meeting started on 14th November and lasted till 25th November. The Union Environment Minister of India also participated in this meeting. During the convention, the Environment Minister of India proposed an enhanced level of protection for the red-crowned roofed turtle. The proposal of India got wide support at the meeting. Through this, India proposed to put Leith soft-shell turtle from Appendix 2nd to Appendix 1st of CITES. The Environment Minister says that after being included in the list, it will be easier to ensure that international trade of the species is not done for commercial purposes. Significantly, species facing the danger of extinction are included in Appendix 1. Trade in specimens of these species is permitted only in exceptional circumstances. Also, their international trade is completely restricted. Let us tell you that Leith's soft-shell turtle is a large freshwater soft-shell turtle found in the rivers and reservoirs of India. It is endemic to peninsular India. These turtles are also known as Batagur kachuga. This species has been heavily exploited in the last 30 years. The IUCN has classified the species as critically endangered, while listed in the Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. It is protected from hunting and trade. Its population in India is estimated to have declined by about 90% in the last 30 years. The main reason for this is their widespread use in the form of meat. Also, due to their demand in foreign countries, illegal business is done. Recently, Standard & Poor's global rating agency has made a shocking statement about Indian economy. It says that in the financial year 2022-23, the GDP growth rate of India is expected to be 7%, whereas in the next financial year, that is 23 and 24, it can be 6%. The agency has cited the global recession, Russia-Ukraine war, rising interest rate and inflation behind reducing the growth rate. However, it has also talked about the less impact of the global slowdown, that is recession, on the Indian economy. Let us tell you that earlier in the month of September, the agency had said that India's GDP growth rate will be 7.3% in 2022-23. At the same time, it was estimated to be 6.5% in the financial year 23-24. Apart from this, the World Bank had said that the economic growth would be 6.5%, while the IMF said that it would be 6.8%. According to RBI, the economic growth rate is expected to be 7% in the current financial year. It is worth mentioning that the US-based Standard & Poor is a global rating agency. It works to estimate the GDP and growth rate of different countries along with rating their economies globally. Recently, there have been reports of outbreak of measles in Mumbai and nearby areas. In this case, BMC, that is Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, has identified some areas as high-risk areas. According to the BMC health officer, measles cases are on the rise in Mumbai. In this, a large number of cases are being reported in high-risk areas. In the last 1 month, 9 people have died due to measles. In this matter, the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has constituted 3 high-level multidisciplinary teams in Jharkhand, Gujarat and Kerala. These teams will assist state health officials in setting up public health measures. Measles is an infectious disease caused by the virus. It is also called rubella. It is caused by a virus of the paramyxovirus family. It is usually spread through direct contact and through the air. It infects the respiratory tract and then after that, it spreads throughout the body. According to WHO, there is no information about its occurrence in animals. Common symptoms include high fever, fatigue, cough, rash, and runny nose. It can also have serious consequences like blindness, pneumonia, and encephalitis. The red rash usually appears about 14 days after the person has had measles. These rashes spread from the head to the lower part of the body. It is noteworthy that some rash does not develop in immunocompromised patients. It can be prevented through vaccination. To deal with measles, a vaccine called MMR, that is, measles, mumps and rubella, is used. Let us tell you that the measles vaccine was started in the year 1963. According to the WHO, globally, measles remain an important cause of death among young children. Due to this, more than 2 lakh people die every year. Let us now look at the 5 questions based on the bulletin.
Questions for this series are: first question is, consider the following statements. 1. Due to the Fujiwara effect, 2 cyclones transform into large cyclone. 2. Hinamanor cyclone is a tropical cyclone. 3. Tropical cyclones are formed only on the water's surface. 4. The temperature is high in the center of the cyclone where air pressure is low. Which of the above statements is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 1, 3 and 4 only, or none of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements with reference to write-off. 1. In write-off, the amount which cannot be recovered is written off. 2. In the write-off, the balance sheet is improved by writing off bad loans. 3. The write-off loan means loan waiver. Which of the above statements is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, all of the above, or none of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements with reference to measles which was in the news recently. 1. It is an infectious disease. 2. It is caused by a virus of the paramyxovirus family. 3. MMR vaccine is effective against measles. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, 3 only, or all of the above. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Article 25 of the Constitution of India deals with religious freedom. 2. Right to religious freedom is not a justifiable right. Which of the above statement or statements is or are incorrect? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. Last question is, consider the following statements with reference to soft-shelled turtle. 1. It is also known as Batagur Kachua. 2. It is found in the rivers and water bodies of India. 3. It is listed in Schedule 4 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, or all of the above. Recently, the central government has constituted a committee to review the implementation of Manrega. It has been specifically constituted to assess the efficacy of Manrega as a poverty eradication measure. This committee has been given 3 months' time to give its suggestions. It has been constituted under the chairmanship of former Rural Development Secretary Amarjeet Sinha. Notably, Manrega was implemented in 2005. The scheme guarantees 100 days of unskilled work per year to a willing person from each rural household. At present, about 15.51 crore active workers are enrolled under Manrega. Recently, the world premiere of the film Dhabari Kuruvi was organized at the 53rd International Film Festival of India. It has been premiered under the Indian Panorama category. It is the first film in the history of Indian cinema to feature only tribal actors. Nabari Kuruvi presents the story of a tribal girl who fights against orthodoxy as she wants to free herself from the shackles that society and community have created for girls like her. Recently, ISRO has launched PSLV C-54 rocket. 8 nanosatellites including OceanSat has been launched from this rocket. PSLV C-54 rocket was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. OceanSat uses Q-band scatterometer which will reveal weather and other information in pictorial form through accurate data. It aims to carry out scientific study of oceans and monitor cyclones. Legendary athlete P.T. Usha to become the first female president of IOA, that is Indian Olympic Association. Elections for many posts of IOA are scheduled on 10th December 2022. P.T. Usha is the only candidate for the post of president. It will be the first time that a woman will head the IOA in its 95 years of history. Besides, she is the first Olympian and international medalist player to become the president of IOA. Significantly, she was also nominated as a member of the Rajya Sabha in 2022. Notably, India participated in the Olympics for the first time in 1900. India was represented by Norman Pritchard, an Anglo-Indian. The Indian Olympic Association was established in 1927. Sir Dorabji Tata was its founding president and Dr. A.G. Nohrain was its founding secretary. Recently, the bilateral military exercise Austra-Hind 2022 commenced between Indian and Australian Army. The exercise commenced at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. It is the first exercise in the Austra-Hind series. The exercise is based on peacekeeping under a United Nations mandate. It is aimed at building positive military-to-military relations and imbibing each other's best practices. Recently, sea cucumber has been listed as threatened species in the 19th Convention of CITES. Hence, sea cucumber got included in Appendix 2 of CITES. COP19 decided to include the Thalanota lineage in this category. It means that sea cucumber is not facing the threat of extinction. Sea cucumber is a species of Thalanota genus. They are found on the ocean floor all over the world. They are also called earthworms of the sea. Significantly, it is included in List 1 under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 in India. Recently, India tested Agni-3 intermediate range ballistic missile. This test has been carried out from APJ Abdul Kalam Island, Odisha. It is a nuclear-capable ballistic missile. Notably, Agni-3 is the third missile to enter the Agni missile series. Agni-3 was first tested on 9th July 2006. However, its test was not successful. Then it was successfully tested for the second time in 2007. Significantly, the Agni-3 missile is known as the world's most accurate strategic ballistic missile of its range class. Recently, the 23rd Hornbill Festival 2022 commenced in Nagaland. It has been organized in the Naga heritage village Kisama. It could not be organized for the last 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Notably, the government of Nagaland organizes the Hornbill Festival every year in the first week of December. It is organized to encourage intertribal contact and promote the cultural heritage of Nagaland. It is also called the Festival of Festivals. Recently, World Health Organization gave a new name to monkeypox disease. Now it will be called Mpox. According to WHO, this name has been given after a series of discussions with global experts. World Health Organization has stated that these two names, that is monkeypox and Mpox, will be used for 1 year. Thereafter, the term monkeypox will be phased out. Significantly, the name monkeypox was given by World Health Organization in 1970. Recently, researchers have discovered a gene of wheat named RHT13. According to the researchers, it is a short height or semi-dwarf type of gene. It is a drought-resistant wheat gene. It can also be grown under dry soil conditions. The research was published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences.